The past few years have thrown Europe a series of unprecedented challenges. A global pandemic, a conflict on its doorstep, and logistical disruptions. Yet despite these hurdles, the Rotterdam Port has proven itself to be more than just a vital cog in the European supply chain. It's the gateway to Europe, showcasing extraordinary resilience and adaptability. Handling over 30% of container imports and exports for Northwest Europe, the Port of Rotterdam is a crucial artery for trade. It's not just about goods. 12% of the European Union's energy demand flows through this port, marking it as a significant energy hub. But the difficulties Europe faces, geopolitical tensions, transitioning energy sources and raw materials, securing future supply chains, and embracing innovation and digitalization, mirror the challenges of Rotterdam. But to understand the Rotterdam Port's Vision 2030, you would want to go back from where it all started. The Port of Rotterdam came into existence in 1283 when a small fishing village was created at the mouth of the Rotte River by reclaiming a tract of land. The port became a major seaport in 1360 after the construction of a canal to the Schie, allowing it to access larger cities in the north and facilitate the transport of goods between England and Germany. Its expansion along the Meuse solidified its position as the country's second most important port. The discovery of the sea route to the Indies in the 17th century sparked a boom in shipping and commerce. French occupation from 1795 to 1815 drastically reduced trade, but it surged again after Napoleon's fall. In 1877, a railroad over the Meuse River connected the southern Netherlands to the Port of Rotterdam. Bridges built in 1890 opened the river's south banks for the development of a larger harbor. Between 1906 and 1930, Rotterdam's Vaal Harbor, one of the biggest dredged harbors in the world, was constructed, followed by the Europort complex along the Nieuwe Waterweg. During World War II in 1940, nearly a third of the port's facilities were destroyed in an attack by Germany. The post-war rebuilding replaced traditional structures with modern buildings. Even today, the Port of Rotterdam's benefits are enormous. Over 30% of container imports and exports for Northwest Europe are transported through it, and 12% of the EU's energy demand arrives here, marking it as a crucial energy hub. Let's dive into its impressive numbers and explore how we can leverage the gateway to Europe's future. The Port of Rotterdam is a major hub for international trade, moving about 14 million TEU, standard-sized containers, every year. The vast majority of containers at Rotterdam bring goods that Europe needs, like food, medicine, materials, machinery, and semi-finished goods. Many people in Europe depend on this distribution process to make their lives better and make a living. The amount of containers going through Northwest Europe is going to rise, which means that the Port of Rotterdam will need a lot more space. To get ready for this, the port is building more of its innovative CO2-neutral container terminals and focusing on building strong freight corridors to the countryside, which is important for keeping the European internal market strong. This calls for big investments in infrastructure that will work in the future, especially since climate change and the state of today's infrastructure make Europe's freight routes more difficult to use. To make shipping more environmentally friendly by 2027, the corridor that links Rotterdam to other major ports brings together shipping companies, ports, and fuel providers from all along the supply chain. To make a more efficient, linked, and sustainable freight chain, Europe needs to work together with a focus on the whole world. On top of that, the global playing field is shifting, and these changes directly impact the port industrial complex. For the Port of Rotterdam to thrive as a hub for Europe, global cooperation and free trade must flourish alongside bold climate ambitions. The port serves as a catalyst for increasing energy independence and diversifying global supply chains to Europe. To diversify energy import flows, Rotterdam is entering global agreements to supply green hydrogen to Northwest Europe. Geopolitical stability is vital for the port to fulfill its role as a major hub for containers, energy, and raw materials in Europe. While countries outside Europe are encouraging investment in industry and renewable energy, Europe must respond with strong industrial policies. Failing to do so risks losing crucial business activities, leading to a loss of wealth and employment, and increasing demand on third countries for energy and raw materials. This is already evident in the chemical industry, where imports from other continents are rising. But the best part is that the Port of Rotterdam is at the heart of the energy transition, a topic that often goes under the radar. Europe is committed to a new energy system, and the Port of Rotterdam is poised to contribute significantly. The port's climate targets are clear: at least 55% reduction in CO2 emissions by 2030 compared to 1990 levels, and achieving climate neutrality by 2050. Companies in the port are moving from planning to action, making investments and implementing sustainability projects like offshore wind power production, CO2 storage under the seabed, green hydrogen production and import, and the expansion of circular industries. The port's energy system is deeply interconnected internationally, particularly within the Antwerp-Rotterdam-Rhine-Ruhr area cluster, which means 3 times more energy is transported through Rotterdam than is consumed in the entire Netherlands. This highlights the necessity of cooperation beyond the port itself, requiring supportive direction from Europe to advance the energy transition in the coming years. Energy infrastructure in the port and its connections to the hinterland are crucial for increasing sustainability in Europe. Major international projects, such as the hydrogen network and the Delta Rhine corridor, must be rolled out rapidly to supply the major industrial clusters with sustainable energy. For European industry, integrating the hydrogen network into the cross-border hydrogen system swiftly is essential. On top of that, the authorities at the Port of Rotterdam believe that creating a healthy hydrogen economy is essential for establishing a robust European gateway. To achieve this, they emphasize the importance of actively supporting the prioritization of hydrogen imports, both renewable and low carbon, to meet climate ambitions and ensure energy security. Bridging the financial gap between renewable and low-carbon hydrogen and current CO2-emitting alternatives is crucial, as is providing hydrogen certification to recognize and financially stimulate imported hydrogen as part of the energy transition. Developing public and private hydrogen infrastructure in parallel and ensuring a smooth and reliable permitting process for hydrogen projects are also key. Additionally, facilitating the use of ammonia as a carrier for importing green hydrogen is vital for this transition. These steps are seen as essential to making the Port of Rotterdam a central player in Europe's sustainable energy future. Another crucial aspect of Rotterdam being Europe's gateway is its role as a smart partner for innovation. Innovation and digitalization can make Europe's supply chains more transparent, efficient, and sustainable. For instance, calculations show that container ships can reduce their CO2 emissions by 14% by using just-in-time arrivals. The Port of Rotterdam Authority is committed to becoming a smart partner in efficient freight chains by leveraging innovation. For this to happen, logistics data must be shared safely and efficiently. While digitalization offers numerous opportunities, it also increases the port's vulnerability to cyber attacks. To defend European ports against such threats, cybersecurity must remain a core priority for the European Union. The adoption of the NIS2 directive was a significant step, but there may be a need for additional policies to better protect critical infrastructure like ports. This might include revising the 2004 ISPS code. By prioritizing innovation and cybersecurity, the Port of Rotterdam aims to strengthen its position as a key player in Europe's supply chain and energy transition. But it's not that straightforward, as the Port of Rotterdam faces multiple challenges. We should discuss these to get a clearer picture. In the first quarter of this year, the Port of Rotterdam, recognized as Europe's foremost seaport, saw a slight decline in activity, with throughput decreasing by 1.5% compared to the previous quarter. According to Marine Traffic AIS data, commercial fleet arrivals in Rotterdam also dropped by 1.2% when comparing Q1 2024 to Q1 2023, reflecting this downturn. The economic slowdown and heightened inflation rates have been cited as reasons for this decline, particularly impacting the container sector. Allard Kastelein, the port CEO, noted a significant decrease in container activity due to these challenging economic conditions and inflationary pressures. However, there's been growth in other areas of port operations, signaling a strategic shift away from dependence on Russian energy sources in compliance with sanctions. Kastelein anticipates a modest decrease in total volumes for the year, driven by geopolitical tensions and ongoing inflation. The conflict in Ukraine has further exacerbated these challenges, impacting various ports in the region. For instance, Ukrainian ports like Odessa and Mariupol have faced significant disruptions due to the war, affecting their ability to operate smoothly and handle shipments. This disruption has ripple effects across global supply chains, influencing shipping routes and trade flows in the region and beyond. Despite facing a turbulent year, which the authority expects to continue amid unpredictable conditions, Rotterdam is pressing forward with investments to transform the port into a sustainable facility. In the past year alone, the Port Authority committed $319.5 million to crucial projects. This year, significant investments are planned, many pivotal to Rotterdam's ambitious energy transition goals. Amidst these challenges, Rotterdam remains Europe's gateway, a pivotal hub connecting global trade and energy flows. Overcoming these hurdles will require resilience, innovation, and continued strategic investments. By navigating these challenges thoughtfully, Rotterdam can reaffirm its position as a cornerstone of Europe's economic and environmental success.